In life, I focused a lot on attaining happiness. Whether it be chasing after love, money, knowledge, or passion, I've grown to subconsciously accept happiness as the meaning of life. From an early age, we've been led to believe we have to get an education to get a good job that will buy us a good house and provide for our loved ones. And then somewhere along the way, we're supposed to become happy. But I've started wondering, what exactly are we chasing? Think about the last time you really wanted something. Maybe it was a new phone, a new game, a relationship, getting a good grade. Whatever it was, I'm sure you've experienced that feeling where you convince yourself, once I get this, I'll finally be happy. And then you get it. And for a little while, you are. You're excited. You think about it constantly. But eventually, it just becomes normal. And then you find something else to want. I've caught myself doing this more times than I can count. I'll spend days thinking about something I want, imagining how much better everything will feel once I have it. And then when I finally get it, the excitement disappears. Not because the thing wasn't worth having, but because I got used to it. And I think that's one of the strangest things about being human. We're incredibly good at turning things we once dreamed about into things we take for granted. And this made me realize something. We spend our lives chasing happiness, but happiness isn't something you achieve, it's something you experience. Because if happiness is a destination, then there has to be some point where you arrive. Some point where you've made enough money, you've accomplished enough, you found the right person, you've become successful enough, and you can finally say, I've made it. But I don't think that point exists. There is always another goal, another accomplishment, another thing you think will finally make you satisfied. And if you spend your entire life waiting for that moment, you might completely miss the life you're actually living. I think about the future a lot. I'm sure most people my age do. College, careers, money, relationships, the person I'm going to become. And there's nothing wrong with thinking about those things. And sometimes I catch myself thinking so much about the future that I forget I'm currently living the part of my life that I used to look forward to. When I was younger, I couldn't wait to be a teenager. Now that I'm a teenager, I can't wait to graduate. Once I graduate, I'll probably be thinking about college, then a career, then something else. It makes me wonder, when does it stop? When do I stop saying I'll be happy when? I'll be happy when I get into college. I'll be happy when I have enough money. I'll be happy when I find someone. I'll be happy when I figure out what I'm doing with my life. I'll be happy when everything finally makes sense. What if everything never completely makes sense? What if that's normal? I think we've also confused happiness with having a life without problems. Sometimes when something goes wrong, my first instinct is to think that I need to fix it before I can be happy again. But life doesn't really work that way. You can have a terrible day and still have a good life. You can be stressed and still be grateful. You can be sad and still have meaningful relationships. You can fail at something and still be proud of yourself. Being unhappy isn't necessarily evidence that something has gone wrong with your life. Sometimes you're just unhappy, and I think that's okay. There's actually something comforting about realizing that. Because if you believe you're supposed to be happy all the time, every negative emotion starts feeling like a problem. You're sad, so you think something is wrong. You're bored, so you need entertainment. You're lonely, so you need someone. You're struggling, so you need to escape it. And eventually you can become so focused on getting rid of uncomfortable feelings that you forget they're a normal part of being alive. Maybe the goal isn't to feel good all the time. Maybe the goal is to have something worth feeling everything for. When I think about the moments in my life that actually mattered to me, they're not necessarily the moments when I was the happiest. Some of them were difficult, some were stressful, some were uncomfortable, but they meant something to me. And I think that's a really important distinction. Happiness and meaning aren't the same thing. You might not enjoy studying for hours, but if what you're studying is helping you become the person you want to be, it can still be worth doing. You might not enjoy every responsibility you have, but that doesn't mean those responsibilities aren't meaningful. You might not enjoy every difficult conversation with someone you love, but that conversation might strengthen your relationship. Sometimes the things that matter most aren't the things that make us feel the best in the world. And I think that's something we forget. I don't think we should stop chasing our goals. I don't think you should stop wanting money or love or success or a better future. I still want all of those things, but I don't want to make the mistake of believing that one of them will finally make me complete in some way, because there will always be something else. And if I'm constantly waiting for the next thing to make me happy, I'm essentially telling myself that my current life isn't good enough, and I don't want to spend my life thinking that. Happiness isn't the point. The point is that you build a life you actually care about, a life where you can have bad days without thinking your life is bad, a life where you can fail without thinking you're a failure, a life where you can look forward to the future without completely ignoring the present. And maybe every once in a while, you'll look around and realize that you're happy. Not because you finally achieved everything, but because for a moment you stopped chasing and you actually noticed where you were. Maybe that's what happiness is, not a destination, not something we finally achieve, just a feeling that reminds us for a brief moment that we're exactly where we're supposed to be.